Here we go. Welcome to another episode of On Campus with Myckena Guerrero. Today I'm joined with Bill Way and Whitney Skillman of Fairfield Cable Access. Thank you all for joining me here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So tell me about how you guys actually got here to Solano. Tell us about your journey.
Well, it all kind of started with when we were working with Greg Poff. Originally, I was managing the TV stations to where we had Channel 26 and Channel 27. And for Channel 27, we did any kind of cable casting of programming that was local. And we were approached by Greg, who had audio files at the time. He was doing football games, baseball games, but there was just audio. And I'm thinking, this would be great, but I really don't know what we could put on there. Maybe we could put a slide or like a picture of Greg or something talking and just have, baseball game live. But I said, if you ever come across doing some video, let us know, and then we'll put it on the station for you. And then, a little bit of time passed, and all of a sudden, Greg starts knocking on the door with DVDs. Hey, I got DVDs of the football game, or I got DVDs of the baseball game. Then it built into basketball, then it built in the volleyball. So it just kind of built from there. And then eventually I came over here to visit him because I've never seen the place. And I walked in here and pretty much there wasn't a lot going on. So we've kind of put our heads together, like how could we, bring life to the studio again? So we kind of got together and, don't want to get into the whole story, but we came up with a joint agreement between the city and the college to where we would upgrade the equipment, boost the curriculum, and now we have new equipment, we have new shows, we have talent. And it's kind of just taken off. I mean, look at this place. I mean, this place was like beige walls and gold carpet from the 70s. And now we got lighting, we have cameras, and we're even chairs. So I mean, this is like an actual TV set, and we love it. It's just been great ever since.
So that's kind of how the merger between the Solano College Sports Network and Fairfield Cable Access kind of came together.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so, Whitney, where did you go to college? And tell us your story.
Okay, sure. So I graduated from BYU Provo with a bachelor's degree in advertising. So I always wanted to write jingles. So when I was started working for the city of Fairfield, I started working in the finance department, and it's not really where my passion was. So I started volunteering with Bill. This was back in 2009. I wanted to kind of see how video worked. It was a little more up my alley, creative-wise. And then in 2014, I was lucky enough to be able to get a position in the video services department, and it was really kind of a blossoming, like the way I love to write was like meeting video. So it's like not only could I tell my story through words, I could now learn how to tell my story through video as well, and it's a lot more impactful. And I was lucky enough to come here when the agreement was already in place with the channel, and it's just been a wonderful, it's just been so fulfilling to see what's come out of this agreement with the way the studio looks, with the kids such as yourself, and to see you going places and doing really positive things. So, like I said, it's really gratifying to us to be able to help in a way where we can see immediate results. So that's kind of how I got here, and I really look forward to a continued partnership with the college as well as the high school, and bringing kids from the high school through the college program. And I think the sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.
Is there certain high schools that you've been kind of talking to come over here?
Yeah, we've actually been working with Chris Plabani over at Armio High School with the Multimedia Academy. So we've been starting to take interns again and kind of help them kind of hone their skills, kind of based on where they want to go and where their interests lie. But, we've also kind of taken on a mentorship role in the classroom as far as helping them with their projects and kind of giving them a little more insight into bring up their production level, so they're a little bit more ready for college or for even a real job.
And Bill, you went to San Diego State for a little bit.
Just for a little bit, yeah. I call it my vacation. I ended up finishing at Sonoma State in communications and film there, and then I got a job almost immediately out of college doing retail production, where I was doing commercials, long-form video, short-form video, and then I started working at the city back in 1999.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was probably before a lot of people were born. But yeah, so then coming into the city, it was a lot different than retail. You went from the private sector into the public sector. But it kind of opened up this whole new world of, trying to inform people, informing the public, and just trying to do it in creative ways, and having that kind of a retail background, I think helped a lot, because we could kind of bring mainstream trends into government television. And with the addition of Whitney, and then we have Bill Hodgson as well as video technician, we're able to kind of all take advantage of our talents and just try to make government television the least government as possible, and just make it mainstream TV. We'd like people to tune into our channels. And actually, the result of having all of this wonderful programming, we're able to add a third channel, which is channel 28, which people are watching this show on now, which is 90% of the programming is the college, which is great. So we're hoping these networks build up.
And talk about, Paul was kind of telling us about how we can do live shows now. So kind of talk about how that all started.
Well, we've been trying to go live for a while, trying to figure out the most inexpensive way to do it, and we finally found a piece of equipment that will allow us to do it through cell technology. So we're hoping in the very near future, at least in next semester, we'll be able to do live. I believe basketball is going to kick in next semester. So I'm hoping we can start with live basketball. But we now do have the technology. And we're hoping we can go from there to where we could even do live from, when you guys are covering games at Vacaville, Vacaville High.
So going back to talking about your communications degree, was that something that you always knew that you wanted to do, or how did that get started?
When I was a kid, I used to kind of record. I used to have a little tape recorder. So I tape recorded myself, doing music shows, and I don't know. I try to act like I was Dick Clark, if anybody knows who Dick Clark is nowadays. Ryan Seacrest. But I kind of wanted to do sportscasting. I played sports my whole life, so I kind of thought maybe I could do sportscasting. But all in all, I think what really made me fall in love with it was watching someone edit. When I was a junior in college. So I already went through a bunch of majors, communications based, but video really stuck with me when I saw somebody editing video. And that's where I kind of took off from there. And I kind of knew right then, it was almost like this epiphany, I'm going to do television.
And Whitney, you've done on-camera stuff, post-production stuff, basically everything. What has been kind of like your niche, you think?
I really love editing, because I love being able to shape the way a story is told. But I really think it's important to know all aspects, because if you're behind the camera, you kind of know what you're looking for when you're behind the camera, so that helps you when you're in front of the camera. When you're in front of the camera, you realize the challenges that you have, so that helps you when you're behind the camera. When you're writing, you're thinking about how it's going to be edited. When you're shooting, you're thinking about how it's going to be edited. So I think it's really important to learn all of those things. But editing is my favorite.
And I have another question, because obviously you're a woman, and being in this industry, do you feel that you have to hold yourself to another level?
Kind of yes and no. I would say yes, because it's a very male-dominated industry. It's like every show that we go to, around the Bay Area, it's like all men in this field. And it's interesting. The video production men are kind of a different breed. It's kind of interesting. But, I want my work to speak for itself. Whether I was a woman or a man, I want someone to just be able to look at this piece and go, hey, it's a great piece. And, oh, it's a woman. Okay. That's even a bonus. So
Exactly. So what are you guys specifically working on right now with the Fairfield Cable Access?
Oh, man, go ahead.
Okay, well, we just finished doing the parade live, and we had Anna and Greg hosting.
Our hosts, our esteemed hosts.
Yes, our esteemed hosts. That was awesome. They did a wonderful job. We had Brian switching and directing the parade, also a wonderful collaboration. Right now, we're working on What's Good, which is our food show, cool places to eat in Fairfield. That's going to be featuring Baja Cream, which is a new shop in downtown Fairfield.
Ice cream place, yeah.
Yeah, and then we're also doing In Your City special, places to go in Fairfield. We're going to be doing Larry's Produce. And surprisingly, when we talked to Larry, I was like, well, everyone probably knows about you. He's like, no, a lot of people don't know about us. So I'm excited to do that. We're going to have some really cool drone shots. And then we have a really great music show called Center Stage. And we're looking forward.
Which you should be familiar with.
Yeah.
Yes. We're looking forward to another group called Miracle Me, and we're going to be shooting that in late August, early September.
That's exciting.
Yeah, very.
And Bill, where do you feel like you want to see the Fairfield Cable Access go to in a couple years from now?
I'd love to see it taking on a regional action to where, all the cities are sharing program, all throughout Solano County, maybe even beyond, but we start with Solano County through the high schools. We want to get the high schools dialed in to where everyone's kind of working in the same format, the same type of equipment, to where high school kids can feed right into Solano, feed right into the local colleges, and then come back and give to the community. But I think a collaboration between, Vallejo, Benicia, Vacaville, and us, maybe even the county one day, to where we could all kind of form some kind of an agreement or a group to where, we have this network, almost like a county network. But I think we're on a really good pace. I think we're ahead of the times with a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now compared to a lot of access stations. So you guys should all be very proud. I mean, this place has just transformed into this.
In like 2 years, it's
That's what
crazy.
I mean. It's so impressive. And we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's great.
Well, what advice do you guys have to give to people that want to be successful in this industry?
Internships. Learn your gear. Like, know everything you're being taught, soak it in, because most news reporters out there, the ones that are actually at network or in New York or LA and those major markets, they know how to shoot, they know how to pull cable, they know how to probably solder a cable. In front, behind the camera, just learn your stuff and get involved with internships. I got a job immediately after I got out of college because I was doing an internship. I just called to say hi, and they said, hey, get in here, so called in, he has to leave, he can't work here anymore, get in here and apply. I'm telling you, it's a foot in the door.
Yeah.
And that's what you learn. You learn on the job. I mean, school is good, you get your degree, you get theory, but you have to, on the job training is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge in this industry.
What about you? Rick?
My advice would be to always put yourself in the position that if an opportunity comes along, you're ready. Like I said, just from volunteering and from being willing to put in the time without being paid, I kind of put myself in the position for this job. And it's really that way with anything else. I think Oprah said it, there's no such thing as luck, it's opportunity meeting preparation. So always be prepared so that when the time does come along that you're ready to go. When someone asks who can do it, you can raise your hand and say I can do it. So.
Well, thank you both for joining me here today, and thank you for everything that you guys have done, because none of this would even happen, or we wouldn't even be here without you guys. So thank you.
I think you
really
would. I think you'd be here. But thank you.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And this has been another episode of On Campus with Myckena Guerrero. Thank you for supporting the Solano College Sports Network, and we'll see you next time.
If you have an interest in a career in sports broadcasting,
whether it's behind the scenes or on camera,
then this is the class for you.
Class is held every Wednesday from 1:30 to 4:30 in room 121 alongside the library building.
For more information, contact Greg Poff. That's me at solano.edu.
We hope to see you here next semester. And remember,
it's more than just sports, it's an education.